Hello everybody and welcome to Not Ready for Primetime Crafting with Tania Gail. Today I'm creating a stamp using the Silhouette Mint stamp machine. I'm in need of creating a stamp to use on my postcards that I'm going to be sending to fellow Postcrossing.com members. And this stamp, it's going to allow me to put the temperature, the date, and weather conditions of where I'm at the moment. Why do I need this stamp? Well, postcards themselves don't have a lot of space, a lot of working space. I talk about that a lot. So using a stamp to contain a lot of information in a little bit of space is a very practical thing to do. And I see this on a lot of postcrossing postcards that I get. They'll put a stamp and just fill in very quickly the date, the temperature, and what the weather conditions are like. We are going to be making a stamp, and we're going to be stamping these postcards. I'm going to be addressing them and writing my little messages and sending them out across the globe. What is postcrossing, you say? Well, it's a website that allows you to send postcards to members across the globe. Postcards like the two that I just received, but this is beautiful. This is a beautiful river gorge in the west coast of New Zealand. It's called Paketia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's very pretty. And then this is the one with South Dakota. So I'm sending a bunch of postcards that are Idaho themed. And the reason I'm doing that is a lot of the world outside of Idaho isn't really familiar with Idaho, its traditions, its cultures. And I want to take this opportunity to share some of that and also educate myself of these traditions and cultures that are and places to see in my new home state. So I have a selection of different postcards that are Idaho themed, and I'm going to be sending them out to the list of members that I have their addresses for. The website launched in 2005 and is still going strong with millions upon millions of postcards sent since its founding. And besides, who doesn't like opening their mailbox and finding a lovely postcard from a perfect stranger? Let's take a closer look at this website.
Here we are in postcrossing.com. What we're looking at right now is actually my homepage on this website. I just want to show you a few quick features of this website so you get an idea of what postcrossing is and this postcard exchange is all about. There's lots of information on these homepages. Some of the most important ones are right here. It's send a postcard or register a postcard. Once you click on send a postcard, this is where the website will randomly select an address and send it to you so you can send this person a postcard. And in this section, it's called registering a postcard. This is where you would go once you receive a postcard. Each postcard has the address of the person being sent to and also a code, a country code. Once you get the postcard, you will input the country code into the register a postcard, and it allows you at that point to write a cute little note to the sender saying, hey, I got your card, thanks a lot, happy postcrossing, whatever you want to say. You might mention something about the design of the card or the stamp. It's up to you. And then click send. And what that will do is it'll allow the sender to know, hey, this person received my postcard, and oh, look, they sent me a lovely little note. It just brings happiness all over the globe. So also what you can find is, and I like this is sort of like a dynamic screen. And what you're seeing right now is real-time people either registering that they received a postcard or that they sent a postcard. So it's a very, very active website. And as you can see, there's 800,000 members. 61 million postcards have been received. Wow. Wow. That's a lot. So the stats for this site are pretty robust, and it's a lot of fun. And you never know what's going to be in your mailbox, which is very nice. Let me show you around a few things. Now, these are the latest postcards that I am going to be sending. That's why we're making the stamp. So all these postcards will get a stamp. And let me show you some stats of mine. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I've been a member since 2011. Wow. I've sent 97 postcards and received 98. And that's about right. And of course, this is taking forever. Okay, so let me change the date range. Here we go. And you can look at all kinds of stats if you're into data. It shows you how many were sent and received over time. It gives you a country distribution, so you can see where all your postcards are coming from, and then it breaks it down by country. And just looking at this data, by far, I've received the most postcards and sent the most postcards to Germany and the United States. The one country on here I have not received or sent a card to is Iceland. But this is kind of cool. So these are my personal stats, and if you join, you will get a page like this, and you can watch it grow if you're a data nerd like I am. So that is Postcrossing. If you're interested, feel free to surf on to postcrossing.com and take a look around, and feel free to join. It's free to join, and you can start sending postcards to new friends across the globe. Okay, now let's jump back into the work of designing our stamp for Postcrossing.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little tour of postcrossing.com. So for today's project, we are going to need the following supplies. Obviously, a silhouette mint, a silhouette mint stamp blank, and we are using the 15 by 30 millimeter stamp for this project. You're going to need some stamp ink, and we're going to use red and navy for this project. Of course, you're going to need postcards. So I have a selection of postcards all ready to go for the lucky recipients of my endeavors here. So it's going to be quite exciting to send them out and see how fast they get around the globe. So that's basically what you need to make a stamp. It's quite simple. Silhouette has not only cutting machines, they also have stamp machines and also 3D printers. Their ecosystem is quite diverse in comparison to Cricut. So it's really interesting, and I hope to bring more of that into this channel. All right, so why don't we go ahead and jump into the Silhouette Mint Design Studio, and I'll show you how we're going to make our stamp.
Okay, here we are in Mint Studio, which is different from the software that you would use if you're using a Cameo 4 or a portrait. The Silhouette ecosystem tends to have different design software for different types of machines. So today we are in Mint Studio because we are using the Silhouette Mint stamp machine. I've designed the stamp already, and let me just enlarge it so you can have a better look at it. It's quite simple. Now, I always talk about your working area. Since we are going to be working with a postcard which does have limited area for writing and sharing information, this stamp, my hope for this stamp is to convey quite a few bits of information in a small area. Now, the first thing you want to do is, again, talking about working area, is to select the type of stamp, the size of stamp that you are working with. And we are going to work with the 30 by 15 stamp for this project. So that's already selected. So it puts a rectangle of that size into your workspace. So already you know how much space you have to work with your design. All of these images that you see here, I actually found right in Mint Studio design software. The heart actually came from here, and there's all these basic images. So I used the heart, and I also used this to indicate the sun. The other images were actually found in the library. So you click on that book looking icon, you can take a look at the library. Now this comes preloaded with your Mint Studio software. Again, just like with the Cameo Studio design software, you do have a link to their store, of course. It's because this is not a subscription plan, so you really have to purchase or design your own images and graphics. So from here, I did select this cloud, and if you scroll down, there should be, there's the snowflake. I have no idea why it's selected. So there are the images that I use, and you can easily just click on them and it'll pull right into the design you're working on. Very simple. If you want to get back to your working design, you just click on that rectangle and give it a minute. Hello, there it is. Okay, so here is our stamp. So I just simply added some text that has the date and the temperature, and some images that represent weather. So I can say May 22nd, the temperature was 53 degrees today, and it was rainy all day, and it was. And I'll just circle the rainy icon. A lot of times when in postcrossing, a lot of people do request that they want to know what the temperature is like and what the weather conditions are where you live when you're writing the postcard. And that's the purpose of the stamps. So I want to be able to convey all that information as readily and handily as possible. So once we've done that, I've just organized everything where I want it. You can click onto this setting right here, which is the scale window. And this has a really, really powerful tool. It's called Fit to Stamp. So you can go and you can individually size everything here, and just in like the Silhouette Studio, you can align all these graphics, you can center them, you can change the font, whatever you want to do. But this, when you click on Fit to Stamp, it will automatically take the entire image and just ensure it fits in this working area. And that is so key when working with these stamps. The next thing we want to do is we want to add a filter. And we're going to go to here. No, I apologize. It's here. And you can add a filter here. And the standard filter is kind of okay. Or the realistic one is a little bit better. I prefer the realistic one over the standard. It just looks a lot better. So you can apply a filter, which can change the look and feel and tone of your stamp, or we'll just leave it on standard, and we will see how far. Yeah, I can go right to 100%. There we go. And leave it as that. And then we are ready now to actually make this stamp. Now I haven't connected my Mint stamp machine yet, but I can show you what the screen looks like. And it's going to yell at me and tell me, oh, I'm not connected. It immediately inverts your image. So there's no instance where you've forgotten to invert your image and it's already through the machine. That's okay. It takes care of that. You don't have to do anything. It will tell you to check your filters. It will, at this point, if this was connected, it would say start the Mint. I just click on there It would then tell me to put the blank stamp in the machine, feed it into the machine, and away it will go and make the stamp. So that's what we're going to do right now.
We are out of design space and I've hooked up the mint, so it's ready to go. And the first thing we need to do is get the stamp blank out. And when you buy the stamp blanks, they usually come in a either set of 1 or 2 depending upon the size of the stamp blank. This kit has 2 in here and they're all neatly packaged together. So here's the actual stamp blank. Here is the supplies that come with it. You get a label and you get a cover for it. And I'm just going to go ahead and open this. I should have brought the scissors out. All right. So here's your stamp blank. You get 2 stickers that, again, what you're going to do with this is label, take one of these stickers and place it on top of the stamp cover. So what will happen is once you make the stamp and you ink it and it's ready to go, you can stamp this so you will know what stamp it is when it's covered up. It's just a little easy organizational thing that's included with the mint stamp kit. Okay, and we have our, I'll put these off to the side. So we are ready to go. So it's telling me now to start mint. I'm going to do that. Okay, and it's telling me now to insert. I have to put it back here if you can see. Just insert right in there. It's going to read it. And it's just going to take a few minutes to basically fuse on the image that we've designed. And while we're waiting, today Cricut has announced 2 new machines. A Maker 3, which is confusing me because there's only one other Maker. So wouldn't this be Maker 2? And a Explorer, it's not an Explorer 3. They dropped the air on it. I don't know. Are they going to be giving Silhouette a run for their money with those machines? We'll see. Okay, so it has infused, if you can see, I can bring it up to you, you can see it just heated the areas where the ink will infuse and will create our stamp. The next thing we need to do is carefully release the stamp. Oh, there we go. I try to be careful and not really touch this area if at all possible. Trash. I'm just going to release the plastic cover. Okay, here's our stamp. Oh, no. There's always one piece. It will not come off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is open this up, and this is always a trial for me. It does, I assure you, there we go, it does open. Okay, so this is your stamp base. This is your stamp cover. And you attach this base onto a block so it makes it easier to stamp, or literally you can just stamp from this. This is driving me up the wall. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. This is real life crafting. You know, I know you're attracted to me, but there we go. What I'm going to do is this. You want to pull this off. This is an adhesive cover, and this is an adhesive base, and you just want to carefully place your stamp blank onto this and kind of very carefully just push it down. I'm very delicate about this. Just push it down a little bit so now it's secure on here. And very simply, the next step is to ink your stamp. Okay, so at this point I'm just adding ink to the design, and what this will do is wherever the design was adhered to using the mint machine, that is where the ink will absorb into, nowhere else. So once you've added the inks that you want, it's really crucial at this point that you let this soak in for at least 10 minutes before you try stamping anything. So on that note, I am going to take a little siesta, go get some coffee, and I'll see you all back here in about 10 minutes. Okay, we are back. I've had my coffee and it looks like most of the ink has been absorbed into the blank stamp. So the one thing I did forget, you should just get a piece of scrap paper and use it, because what you need to do now is get rid of any excess ink that's on the stamp, so the image on your stamp will resolve in clarity. Essentially, what I mean is you just take your stamp and you just repeatedly stamp until the image is clear. There. So it doesn't take that long, but it just removes the excess ink. Now all the ink that I applied is now absorbed into this medium, and it should be good for at least 50 or so stamps before you need to re-ink. Okay, I'm just going to put this aside. We don't need this. And I am going to stamp, the first stamp will be for the label. So once I put the label on, I can quickly see what stamp this is. It helps me organize it. So on that note, I'm going to take my postcards and stamp them. All right, so we'll take the first one, take our lovely stamp, and I think I'll just put it right over here, right here. Give it a good press, and there we go. I'll take the next one, and this is Lucky Peak Reservoir. I was just there a couple weeks ago. It's very pretty. There we go. Okay, so I'll continue with the rest of the stamps, but you can see how very easy it is to create your own custom stamps using the Silhouette Mint and a mint blank and their proprietary inks. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new, and I hope to see you on Postcrossing. Till next time, happy crafting. Isn't this pretty? Ooh, it's so pretty. I love it. Yay. Came out right.